Okay, if you're tackling the Strategic Business Leader exam, you know that every single mark is a hard-fought battle. But what if I told you that some of the easiest marks to grab are the ones that honestly most people just leave on the table? In this explainer, we're going to unlock the secret to scoring those top professional marks by mastering one critical skill: getting the format right every single time.
So here's the question that keeps so many of us up at night. You know your stuff, you've torn the case study apart, but when you get your results, they just don't reflect all that hard work. So what's going on? Where's the disconnect?
And the culprit? Well, it's probably not what you think. It's often less about what you're saying and much more about how you're saying it. You've got to remember, the SBL exam is basically a business simulation, and in the real world, how you present your work matters a lot. Ignoring the required format isn't just a tiny slip-up, it's a massive trap that costs even the smartest candidates those precious professional skills marks.
All right, let's kick things off with the absolute powerhouse of professional communication, the report. I want you to think of this as your #1 tool for showing off your analytical skills. When the examiner asks you for analysis or evaluation or a formal recommendation, this is it. This is the format that proves you can think and communicate like a real senior advisor.
Just look at this structure. It's basically a roadmap for your marker. That clear header and intro, that tells them you get the context right away. A well-structured body with logical headings makes your analysis so easy to follow, and more importantly, easy to award marks for. And of course, a strong conclusion really drives home your final recommendations. This isn't just about looking professional. It's about making it dead simple for the examiner to give you the credit you deserve.
Now, this right here, this is one of the most common traps people fall into. So here's the golden rule you have to remember. Reports are for advising. They need your opinions, your conclusions. Briefing notes, on the other hand, are for informing. They have to be purely factual, just the data, no opinions allowed. You're giving the reader the info to make their own decision. If you mix these two up, it's a huge red flag for the examiner.
Okay, so we've covered the deep dive analysis. Now let's switch gears to making a big impact fast. Let's talk about our second key format, the presentation. This is your chance to prove you can take complex ideas and boil them down into a clear, concise message for a senior audience, like a board of directors.
A really effective slide tells a story in a single glance. See how these bullet points are short, sharp, and action-oriented? A busy executive can look at this for literally 5 seconds and know exactly what the key priorities are. That's the goal here: clarity over clutter, every single time.
But remember, the slide is just the headline. The real meat, the substance, lives right here in the speaker notes. Each note has to directly explain its bullet point. Seriously, imagine you're writing a script for your CEO. The notes need to have all the detail, all the context, all the evidence they need to stand up and present your ideas with total confidence.
Right, let's talk about the quick-fire stuff, the communications that need speed and absolute precision. The SBL exam will also test how versatile you are with these shorter formats like memos, letters, and even press releases, where every single word really counts.
Think of this table as your go-to cheat sheet. For something internal, like an email or a memo, a formal tone and the correct headers show you respect the company's way of doing things. For an external letter, that formality shows professionalism to clients or partners. And for a press release, being factual and newsworthy is absolutely critical to protect the company's reputation. Each one of these has a different audience and a different job to do.
Now, beyond those everyday communications, sometimes the exam will throw a really specialized document at you. A perfect example is the Project Initiation Document, or the PID. This isn't just a simple memo. This thing is the formal blueprint for an entire project. Nailing its structure proves you can work within those really established formal business frameworks.
A good PID leaves absolutely no room for confusion. By clearly laying out the goals, the scope, and the constraints, you're preventing that dreaded scope creep later on. By identifying who the stakeholders are and what their roles are, you make sure everyone knows exactly what they're responsible for. Look, this isn't just about filling in some boxes. It's about showing you have the foresight to manage a project successfully right from the get-go.
Okay, so we've gone through the what and the how of all these formats. But now we need to talk about the most important part, the why. Why do we call this the secret weapon for SBL success? Because, and this is crucial, this isn't just about passing the communication skill. It's about unlocking marks across the entire exam.
The exam tests 5 professional skills, right? And communication is just one of those. But here's the game-changing insight that most people miss. Using the correct format,
elevates your entire answer. It's like a superpower. A well-structured report makes your evaluation skills shine. A clear, concise presentation boosts your commercial acumen. Your professionalism in communication is the vehicle that carries all your other skills.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote is straight from the horse's mouth, the examining team themselves. They say that even if your answer is technically perfect, if the format is wrong or just presented badly, full professional marks will not be awarded. Just let that sink in for a second. Your brilliant analysis could get 0 credit for professional skills simply because of how it was packaged. The stakes are really that high.
So the bottom line is this. Getting the format right isn't just a little box you tick at the end. It's the foundational skill that holds all of your technical knowledge together. It's the framework that makes every single point you make more powerful, proving you're ready to operate not just as an exam candidate, but as a professional at a strategic level.
So, as you keep preparing, I want you to ask yourself this one question. Are you just trying to answer the question, or are you trying to communicate like a leader? Because the SBL exam isn't just testing what you know, it's testing who you can be. And believe me, the difference between those two mindsets, that's where a pass becomes a distinction.